Good morning, Crestwood. Happy Wednesday. It is good to be with you again. Hope your day is off to a great start. So excited about being back in worship in person on May 2nd and looking forward to hopefully that becoming something we do regularly from then on. So looking forward to trying it out for a few weeks and making sure we can do it and keeping people safe and healthy. So honored to be with you this morning. Glad to provide this devotional for you for this Wednesday, April 21st. So today I'm thinking about compassion. This is Lex Give Back Week. That's an endeavor put on by this group called Compassion at Lexington, which I'm honored to be a part of. Have been for the last 4 years. And during Lex Give Back Week, what we're doing is we're encouraging Lexingtonians to show their compassion for each other, to live out that compassion they feel by helping someone else, helping a neighbor, helping a friend, shopping at a local restaurant or shop that's been hurt by the pandemic, writing a note to someone you haven't heard from in a while, all different ways that we can live out our compassion. Compassion is a biblical concept. There are several places in Scripture where Jesus shows compassion. There's one particular story in Mark where Jesus is confronted by a leper or approached by a leper, and the leper asks him Jesus to heal him. And it says that Jesus looked with compassion upon this man. Now, it's interesting because different translations render that differently. Some say he looked with pity upon him, but pity is different. Pity is almost a looking down on someone and feeling sorry for them. But compassion means to enter into their suffering with them. So Jesus didn't look down on this person. Jesus looked at this person directly across from him, saw in him a fellow suffering human being, and then entered into that suffering with him by touching him. See, if you touched a leper back then, you were considered to be as unclean as a leper was. Jesus takes on this man's suffering by touching him and then brings about healing through that touch. See, that's what compassion is. Compassion isn't just waving at someone across the street or saying, well, you'll be in my prayers. Compassion is entering into their suffering in order to bring about transformation. It's being willing to touch them in a way that lets them know that they matter, that they are seen, that they can be healed. And so that's the whole purpose of Let's Give Back Week, is how can we enter into someone's suffering in order to help them bring about healing in them. And Jesus shows us how to do that. Jesus looks at people and sees them not for their infirmities, not for their iniquities, not for their shortcomings. He sees them as a fellow human being. You know, there's a Christian artist named Chris Rice who has a song called The Face of Christ. And he talks about how, in the song, how he went to help a homeless man. And he was scared to lean down and be on the same level of the homeless man because he knew if he did, he would see the face of Christ. See, if we're willing to get down on our knees, if we're willing to enter in to the pain and suffering of someone else, when we look at them, we're not going to see someone who needs pity. We're going to see the face of Christ, the one who suffered on the cross so that we may know healing and God's transformative love. So I want to encourage you to think about who in your life needs compassion this week, who in your life is suffering, who in your life is downtrodden, who in your life is lonely, feels unwanted or unvaluable. How can you get down on their level and look them in the eye and be willing to enter into their suffering with them, to bear their burdens, as Paul tells us to do, so that they know they are not alone. You don't have to look far. It could be someone in your own household. It could be someone in your family, someone in your neighborhood. There is suffering all around us, and people just want to know they haven't been forgotten. We have the power to show them God's love by simply entering into their suffering, looking them in the eye, and letting them know they do not walk this journey alone. Find someone today who needs to know that they haven't been forgotten. Take your compassion and put it into action, Crestwood. You can change the world, or you can change the world for one person. And in my mind, that's good enough. God bless you, Crestwood.